Hello Internet, welcome back to Space Empires 4. We're mobilizing for war, which is taking a lot of time and is a little micromanaging, but it's stuff that needs to be done. We're trying to send an overwhelming force so that once we're there, we can just plow through all the enemy, make them hate us, make them realize that there's no alternative but to give in to us. We want them to ultimately surrender is what's going to happen. I am noticing we're very low on resources. Partially, this is because of our enormous maintenance costs, but it's also because we're upgrading a lot of ships. In fact, I think we need to micromanage that a little bit. So let's cancel this construction. No, cancel from the bottom up so it doesn't prompt us on every one. How many? It's because we're building a lot of facilities, we're building a lot of ships, we're repairing and upgrading our ships. You're doing population stuff. We should send this one to continue dealing with these planets that are rioting. They really need to stop rioting if they know what's good for them, but of course they don't. Let's really quickly join these up and let's take care of this enemy that's been sitting here for a while. Let's get him out of here. I don't really like that he's here. We're just going to hit strategic on most of these. Mostly because we're... man, they didn't even get through us. Let's look at their ship and see if they have the upgraded armor. We're not sure which dreadnought it was. It looks like they're using incinerator beams, which is an enormous amount of damage. My god. That's a lot of damage. More than we have, but they have the old shields. They're very close to upgrading to the next level of shields, which our weapons currently can penetrate those kind of shields, but if they upgrade, we will not be able to penetrate anymore. So we need to keep an eye on that. Let's knock out this planet while we're here. Still rioting. I wish you would stop rioting. If you continue rioting, I'm literally genociding your people, and I feel like they should know that and stop. Intelligence Center, counterintelligence, some combat, which we took no damage, of course, because we are just an overwhelming force. What we need to keep an eye on is that they don't try to move through, because our main force is here. You're not quite fully upgraded yet. Next turn they'll be fully upgraded. Let's send this to another planet, knock them down a few pegs. Again, the goal here is not to entirely wipe out the enemy. The goal is to hurt them to the point where they don't want to fight anymore, and then we destroy them. They actually managed to cause us some problems here. It took a long time. I'm wondering if they damaged us. Lots of intelligence centers being built. Counterintelligence, we don't know what they were doing. Combat, no damage. A little surprising, given that we have some really old, crappy ships. That would be these defense destroyers. Their guns are laughable. I mean, they're so outdated. They have the lowest tier shields, lowest tier engines. What we could do is remove them entirely and send them back to be scrapped, because they're just not gonna. It's just the one. Okay, yeah, he's never going to contribute to combat. He's never going to amount to anything. So let's wipe out these few planets here. I expect that we will start losing ships while we're fighting them. Sooner or later, they're going to have a planet filled with weapons platforms. You know what? We can... there's only one... No, because they could come from here into this and then over. And we don't want them to do that. In fact, we can close that warp point. Why don't we... Nope. Nope, cancel. I don't want you to do that. Let's head them back here for now, but we're going to close this warp point so they can't sweep up behind us. I think these are fully upgraded, so let's send them out as well. Create fleet. Cruiser, big boy, cruiser, big boy, cruiser, big boy, warper. I think we'll send the warper as well. And we'll just send them to warp through here as a secondary force. We're reinforcing. You're moving as well. Everyone's moving to group up on the front. Yep. We're running out of resources. We need to cut back on our construction queues. Stop building. Clear queue. Yes. On things that are less consequential. This will save us construction costs. Because if we run out of maintenance, no, we want the rim world to be to be working at all times. You can stop as well. Go ahead and clear. We'll clear everything but the one that you're working on. just so we can get a facility. That will help. Never going to complete. Why? Because you're rioting. Down to 6,000. If we run out of resources, we'll start losing ships due to lack of maintenance stuff, and we don't want that. Combat, planet rioting, monolith facility complete. Intelligence center. You know what we could do? In lieu of creating a lot of these monoliths, we could just create mineral miners, because that's what we're running out of. Clear the queue. How are you working on? No, you're not done yet. Clear the queue. Go ahead and create miners. This gives us the same amount of resources as the monolith, but it only is for minerals. It's not going to give us any of the other stuff. But if we look, we're actually not running out of those. We have a huge excess of those. So no, don't. I don't need a password. I'm the only person playing. So instead, we'll just focus on mineral miners. These only take 1 turn to complete, and it will help a lot with that, I think. So we'll just queue up a bunch of those, and we'll start ending our turn that way. With those ticking up. Big boys, yes, working. We're doing a lot. Okay, send the warper. What we're going to do is close the warp point. Yes. And we're going to close the arc-light warp point. What this means is that this warp point now only goes to our facility. It no longer goes here. So they can't come up through here and get behind us. They would have to come through our system, and there's no way for them to do that. You'll see everything's closed off. And it doesn't seem like the AI is chasing that tech tree that lets them open and close warps. So we don't have to worry about them coming behind us anymore. We'll send the warper back for repairs. And we will send our fleet to group here instead. Go ahead and remove everything, add everything. And let's start removing more to send back for upgrades. You're old, you're old, you're old. Old, 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 old. You're upgraded, you're old. I think that's it. I think we've fully upgraded. Nope, you're old. I think we've largely upgraded pretty much everything. Great. Great. We need to add them to a new fleet. Create fleet. Add all. We'll send Gamma back to get retrofitted so that they'll be fully upgraded for the coming combat. And we will remove them from the fleet and upgrade them. Big boys, upgrade to Big Boy 3. I guess you don't have enough resources to finance the retrofit. Oh, so that takes resources immediately? Okay. Well, we're going to chill for a few turns then, just to get that up enough. But let's not warp through. Let's just move to this warp point. That way, if something pops in and tries to get past us, we have a chance to intercept them. End our turn. Warp point closed. Planets are rioting, unsurprisingly. Mineral miners. Obliterator. Yep, we're doing good. See, they did pull a ship through, so we want to intercept that before it would get a chance to go through to our home world. Do you have any movement? You don't, so we'll just wait here. What were we doing? Population. Yeah. Where's our population mover? Yes, you. Start expelling the populations here. Planet rioting, counterintelligence. Only one is rioting now, and it's in this system, so it looks like these people have calmed down. They're angry, but they're not rioting. We'll leave them alone for the time being and see how they do. And then we just have this one group rioting yet, which is, fine. I would love if these people would calm down. I believe we built in this sector a thing that's supposed to increase the mood of the population. Did we not? We did. So over time they're going to grow happier in the system. So it looks like that's finally taking root. They've stopped rioting. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. See, they slipped a ship past us. So we're going to intercept that. Knock that out. How are we doing health-wise? We're great. We are losing supplies, which is concerning. because we're losing quite. We have quite a drop here. So I think we would like to send more supply ships. Are you constructing anything? Big supplier. Excellent. Okay, let's try retrofitting again. We have actually not very many resources. Why is that going down when I've stopped constructing so much stuff? Why would that be going down? We're constructing at virtually nothing. Is it just our maintenance is so high? I mean, okay. Just wait for more of those miners to be built. Combat, no damage. They keep sending ships through. So we're waiting for them to not send ships through, because if they keep sending ships through, we have to keep interacting with them. If we have, you know what, we have enough moves now, so we can block this. So now when they come through, they'll be in combat immediately. We don't have to worry about them slipping past and getting to our homeworld, because our homeworld is right here. It's a little vulnerable. I'd hate to lose the rim world or anything like that. The ring world. Population's still doing great here. Send you forward to join up with them. We really want more of these supply ships. We really need more resources, so we're just going to bide a little bit of time here. We probably already have a sizable enough force to actually just take it to them and just defeat them, but I'd rather be a little careful. Battle cruisers, colony ships. Why don't we split you up a little bit? Create a fleet. Let's pull out a few cruisers. You know, give me the old crappy destroyer. We'll send him off to be killed. Probably. Send a few big boys and one obliterator. We want to keep the main force blocking the warp point. We don't want them to get away. But we'll create a new fleet for harassment. The Gamma fleet will be for harassment. We'll send them off to start destroying planets. It's a smaller fleet. There's the possibility that we'll take damage and die. Ooh, you know what? I didn't put any supply ships in them, so they'll have to come back to borrow supplies from this other group. There is a star here, so they will be regenerating supplies every turn. And we're waiting on another supply ship here. We have enough to retrofit these now. Who needs retrofitted? You two. Retrofit. Big boy. That used... oh, so many freaking resources to upgrade them. That's where all our resources went. I tell you what. Okay, end our turn. We'll continue harassing them. All projects completed. We've unlocked the ability to build the... oh. Completed all intelligence projects. Oh, I thought that was our research. You must immediately remove all your ships. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Let's queue up another intelligence thing, counterintelligence. That way we're not open to some of these things. And we don't risk them doing anything to us. Let's queue up as well, actually. Why don't we do some stuff to them? What would we want to do? Probably just blow up their ships. Probably this guy. Sure. No. Any ship. Ship bomb. Any ship. We don't want to limit it to the ones we know about. Okay, where's my harassment force? Here you are. Let's continue destroying their planets. This will cripple them economically and make it less likely for them to continue generating ships. Sooner or later, we're going to lose somebody. I mean, you've got to put up more resistance than this. This is just pathetic. I'm not sure why they're so weak. They have really high damaging weapons. I mean, we have so many shields that I'm guessing they just can't get through our shields. Where does it say our shields? We have so many. These only have 2 on them, so it's only 750 shields on them, but it's still quite a lot for them to get through. Yes, strategic. Sooner or later, we're going to lose a ship. We blew up. Oh, we failed to blow up something. We had an accident aboard one of our cruisers. Go show me the cruiser. Hopefully it's not somewhere that we can't resupply and repair it. Go to... yeah, it's in our group that has the repair ship, so I'm not worried about it. doesn't even show up here. What is the problem? What was the problem? Caused it to lose some of its movement. Oh, I mean, that means nothing. That's nothing. So focus on the counterintelligence. That way we don't have to worry about them giving us problems while we're dismantling their empire. Strategic. Yeah, at this stage of the game, I tend to stop doing tactical combat just because there's so many ships. It takes a long time to manage. Planet is still rioting. It looks like this sector has calmed down considerably. So I think we'll send our population transport over here to remove this final colony. And we've cleared yet another sector. Let's have them regroup to get resupplied. So we'll send them back and we'll join them all into one fleet. That way they can get repaired and resupplied. What are you doing? Send you through. And we're going to continue maintaining a force here to protect our flank. We don't want them to be able to slip in behind us. But we're just going to start really causing them some problems. So we have quite a bit of resources. Let's upgrade our cruisers. See if we can do them all at once. Retrofit. We'll have enough supplies. That's nice. And one more of these to retrofit. See if we can afford this as well. Great. And then we'll send all of them out with the big supplier to regroup with our forward forces. At this point, just a matter of dismantling them, causing them enough problems that they eventually say, okay, we can't take this anymore. We're going to surrender. Resources should be doing quite a lot better, which is great. Let's queue up a few more mineral miners. Yeah, I don't see any reason to build the monoliths at this point because we're just in need of minerals. It's a little silly how much minerals outweigh the value of organics and the refinery stuff, because I think you should have a balance between all in-game resources for them to really be particularly valuable. So they should be very near their cap. And as soon as you're done, you're done. Let's send this fleet forward as well. Create fleet. We don't want to add all because we don't want to add the shipyard ones. In fact, since we fully upgraded, we can afford to send some of the shipyards forward just so we have additional repair abilities. And we'll call this a forward fleet as well. So we can first contact. They have rebelled against us. So where did that happen? Are you serious? Interesting. They rebelled on one of our really populated planets. I'm not sure why they would rebel. I mean, obviously it was the intelligence of our enemies doing it. Give me log. Rebellion has rebelled against us, formed a new nation. A little frustrating. We have a lot of intelligence points and we weren't able to counteract that. I'm going to demand your surrender and then I'm going to just destroy you because I really don't want to deal with you. I would think that they would agree, given that we have an incredible military compared to them. To prevent the destruction of our race, we surrender. Excellent. Saves us a little bit of headache there. Are you angry? No, you're happy. So it's a little bothersome that their intel could just in one turn overcome our... Why do they have a different race symbol? They're the same race. They were our people. Okay. It's a little frustrating that in one turn they can flip and counter us and just say, hey, we're not going to be part of your empire anymore. And all it was one turn, and it's a little irritating that that happened. Gamma Fleet. Yeah, let's actually, let's not. Let's separate the fleet, add it all, and then pull a separate fleet. Because we don't want all those supplies and everything to be with one set. And space yards and stuff all to be in one fleet. So just add a bunch of big boys, a couple cruisers, and maybe a destroyer, or a obliterator, I mean. Add a couple more cruisers. So there's, nope, didn't create a new fleet. I keep forgetting to do that. So add all. So we'll sick Gamma Fleet on the universe again. This time they have the ability to resupply themselves more or less. Let's create a third fleet, create fleet, and we'll do the same thing. Big boy obliterator, big boy defend. Yeah, a couple cruisers, space yard, a supply ship, a couple more big boys. Maybe the old supply ship. Where's the crappy supplier? Big supply, big supply. I mean, we can afford to do this. And we'll create a fleet for them as well. Create fleet. Add all. So there we have 3 fleets we can send around to harass the enemy. Cause some problems for them. Again, just breaking them down. Here we've unlocked the ability to create sphere worlds. So instead of the ring world, it would create an entire sphere around the star. These have an enormous amount of facilities that they can be built. On them, as well as just a staggering amount of population can live on them. They are the biggest planet in the game, are the sphere worlds. Ring worlds are second largest. And of course, we're not going to take the time to build those. It would take us minimally probably 50 turns to build a sphere world. And it's just a little bit much to ask right now. So we're still sucking population up here. They are already over 5 million, so this will start to increase pretty rapidly now. How are scores going? We're over 1 million now, which is interesting. And you can see that their scores have dropped as well, just from us taking apart their empire a little bit. Here's another pretty vulnerable sector, so we're going to deal with them. We're going to... It's interesting that they have already recolonized these planets. We're going to quickly remove those from existence. Because forget you, you should have known better than to come out here and try this. Yes, strategic. Yes, strategic. Again, at some point we're going to lose a ship, but currently we're just demolishing them. I really thought they would be tougher, given that we left them alone for so long. This is not going to be harmful to us. Let's check this previous sector. You are up here. We will send you to continue killing their planets. Every planet we kill is causing them to lose facilities. Every ship we kill, every planet we kill, it's lost resources. It's more likely that they'll surrender to us. There's really nothing they can do at this point. We are just an insurmountable force in the universe. Combat, they're still rioting over there, which is just so funny to me that they're still rioting. Give me this population. Abandon the planet. And you know what? We're going to let you live. We're going to let you live in our ship for all of eternity until we end the game. There's no reason to kill them. Let's go ahead and send you to resupply just so that you don't run out of equipment or anything. You guys keep murdering. Really is all I want you to do. Dreadnought. Yeah, at some point I expect some actual resistance from these empires, but it's looking like they're largely just laying down and dying, which is not great for them. So we've wrapped up. We can probably push up our ships to this warp point, but I don't want to risk things getting to our homeworld. We even could break this down into another fleet, because we really don't need even more. We don't need all these people stacked up. Give me an obliterator or two, a couple big boys, a couple cruisers. Give me the old supply ship. Give me a big supply ship. How many supply ships do you have left? 3. Give me a space yard. A couple more big boys. Oh, meant to put you in a fleet. Create fleet. Add all. Zeta fleet. Send you through here as well. Yeah, we're just taking them apart, breaking them down so that they'll be in a position to eventually concede. Looks like we found their homeworld, would be my guess. Maybe not. Maybe not, but we're going to kill it. Let's see if they put up any resistance here. Nope, just wiped out, huh? Okay, a little sad, actually, at how easily we overcame this game. We, from the jump, I was really expecting to lose a lot. So I made the AI just slightly worse than they usually are. And I'm talking slightly. Most of them were around 5 to 10% worse than we are. And I thought it would be harder. And we really, early on, just really... I mean, we lost a few ships over the course of the game and stuff like that. But we really did just absolutely wreck them. AI in this game, they never stood a chance. We've always been much more powerful than they are. Our score is much higher than their score. So even if we stopped fighting right now and we just focused on developing our species, we would eventually win just because we are just staggeringly better than them from a score perspective. Why don't you guys hang out and regen some supplies? You seem to be pretty low on supplies. What are you guys doing? Why don't you kill this guy? And we're at 25 minutes. Why don't we send out a few surrender requests? Because I think they're probably to the point where they might surrender. Demand, surrender, demanding. And we'll see if we win the game. Message. This does not surprise us. We would refuse to surrender, and they have surrendered. Okay, so we have to beat down the green guys a little bit more. We got a bunch of stuff unlocked. Looked like they were going for troops, which is interesting. Because I've never seen the AI go for troops. I still don't really know how troops work. Got some cluster bomb. These are all pretty garbage. So their race is over. Looks like they were up here. I'm guessing the green guys are located primarily here. But it's possible that they're intermingled. Doesn't really look like it. I'm betting they live up here. And this will be the end of them. So let's send them through. There they are. So let's start just destroying them. A lot of the planets we destroyed already were the other race. So I can see why the green guys might not be willing to surrender. But we will very quickly... There's nothing they can do. So we're going to wrap this up this episode, I think. We'll play a little bit past. It'll be a longer episode. But we'll just finish off this race. Again, if I were playing this casually, I would focus more on colonization right now. I would ignore... They actually escaped us? I don't like that. I would focus more right now on colonies and building ring worlds and sphere worlds at the moment. Just because I find that a lot more fun than the warfare in... Space Empires. I think I might have called it Cataclysm earlier. Sorry, I play a lot of Cataclysm, so my brain is often in that mode. But I like colonization and stuff, so in my casual playthrough, I wouldn't be doing this. I would just be colonizing all those planets in the area. Can't believe they didn't kill us. They had so many enemies there. They didn't even deal damage to us. I mean, we're technologically way ahead of them. How are we doing on scores? 1.2 million, they're down to 70,000. I mean, we might as well obliterate them. I don't see any reason to ask their surrender. I think I'd rather remove them from existence at this point because they refused to surrender, which was a real mistake on their part. You could have lived relatively amicably with my people. We would have just taken you under our wing and accepted you into our empire, and you have squandered that. I mean, we did technically, like, eradicate human beings literally from existence. All the humans in the universe currently live on a spaceship of ours. But hey, they would not stop rioting. That's really their fault more than it is my fault. We're not a genocider. They brought it on themselves. It feels gross even just saying that out loud. Are you dead yet? I mean, they gotta have... How many planets do they have left? Probably like 2 planets. They have 0 systems and 0 planets. So they have a ship left somewhere. Nope, no ships, no nothing. So I guess they're dead. Victory! The Homicidicus Empire has conquered the galaxy. Let the future revere the name of the murderous unicorn for untold generations. Hurrah! Hurrah! And look at this terrible... terrible image of a continent here. We have won. And the game does allow you to continue playing, so we could, you know, if we wanted to colonize the entire universe, we could. I think if you play with randomly generated computers, there's a chance that they could still be generated now. So even if we won the game, there could maybe be additional computers generated over time. We didn't do that. We manually created our own empires. I think if I play this on the channel again, which is very unlikely, but hey, I get the urge to play this every few years. Usually when I'm really sick, because I played this a lot when I was a teenager. Anytime I was sick home from school or whatever, I would play Space Empires, because it was like I would just lay in bed and all you needed to play was the mouse. So I would just lay miserable, sick, and just click, while I'm half sick in bed. So it's a game that comes up every time I get sick. I think about playing, but yeah, I don't know if we'll play it again on the channel. If we do, we'll make the computers a little bit more challenging, and we'll let them be randomly generated. That way, we would have a little bit more competition. What did our score get up to? 1.2 million, which is about a quarter of what we would need to win the game by score. I think if we play again with a score victory, we would lower the score a little bit, just because, I mean, honestly, I guess I was going to say tech levels are what mostly contribute to score, but I don't think that's true. I think it's planets, systems, and population. I think population is a huge contributing factor, because we went from like what were we, like 700,000 all the way up to 1.2 million, and all we did was kill a bunch of stuff and basically grow the population of our ring world. It's up to 9 billion, by the way. How much do they gain every turn? 9 billion. Let's see what it goes up to. 9.3 billion. I mean, that's not as big of a growth as I thought, but that was one turn. Over time will become quite a staggering number. Anyway, hey, thank you for watching this series. If you watched this all the way through, you're probably the only person on YouTube to do so. So, hey, I really appreciate that you took the time. I know that if you don't know, I'm a very small YouTuber. Really, every view counts. Everything that people do that helps support me really, really go a long way. So, hey, leave me a comment. Tell me you liked the series. Tell me you hated the series. Maybe click that like button. And, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really trying to build up subscribers. At the time of this recording, I'm right around 500 subscribers. And, of course, I'm hungry. I always want more growth. I always want to be bigger than I currently am. So, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this series. Even if it was a small map and a relatively short series, I really had fun with it. And hopefully you enjoyed watching. So that's going to do it. That's a wrap on our Space Empires 4 Let's Play. I don't know what I'll be doing next on the channel, but hey, check it out. And I appreciate your time. So I'll see you in the future. Thanks for watching.